It's showtime.
Hey, welcome to Did You Watch Survivor Last Night? My name's Jake Shadell. It's a podcast about reality television and friendship in which I ask my best friend, Thomas Powell, if he did indeed watch a certain reality show. Hey, Tommy, how you doing?
Doing all right. It's Cinco de Mayo today.
Oh, cool. Are you celebrating?
No. No, I am not.
We should name this segment the calendar check-in, because that's really what it's become. Yeah. What is today's date?
What's the date? What is happening around this date?
I realized this week that at no point in April did we mention that it's April in the D.
We really fucked up this time, and you know what? That's
really
on
did.
us.
I think I'm going to blame the Pistons for not doing better, and also the Tigers for not being better. I don't even know if they're good, but it's not April anymore.
Certainly not good enough to make us remember.
Yeah. I don't even know if they're still playing. I feel like I haven't gotten an update on a score from a Tigers game in like a few weeks. Did they all just
They've been
stop?
hiding it from you because they started the year kind of good and they've been really bad since then, which is
Cool.
more accurate to like what they should be. So,
who's the manager now?
The manager is a man named Ron Gardenhire.
Braun Gardenhire?
Yes.
Beauty Brains Braun Gardenhire?
Yeah.
I just imagine him at the end of every game, just like coming out on the field and looking at every camera and be like, don't, can you guys please not publish this one? Just like, don't talk about it. We're really trying. Too bad for the Tigers. There's always next year. Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Did you watch Survivor Edge of Extinction last night?
Just like the wide winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing.
I sure did.
The title of this episode was Awkward. Oh. Is that the opening of a bottle I hear in the background over there, Thomas?
Opening of a can, but yes.
Same difference. How do you feel about the phrase same difference?
Not a fan.
I'm not surprised, but also...
Don't care for it myself.
I think it's fine. I think it's good, actually. In fact, I think it's the greatest phrase in existence.
Oh, wow.
I think it gets the point across of like, hey, this small discrepancy does not matter, so let's not dwell on it. But people get really mad about same difference.
I think it's an oxymoron. So...
What? Sorry, what was that?
I said I think it's an oxymoron.
Oh, I thought you called me a moron.
Oh, I was gonna follow that up by calling you a moron, but so you know.
You know who the real oxymoron is? Billy Mays. Because he did all that cocaine.
Yeah, because he's fucking dead. What an idiot.
Dead from all the coke he snorted.
I don't think that's why he died.
Isn't it?
Did he just have a heart attack? I don't think it was a cocaine thing. Maybe it was. Who knows?
It might have
Who's
been.
to say?
Who's to say? Who's to say how Billy Mays died? Anyway, what are you drinking, Thomas?
I think the last one that we did, I was also drinking a bubbly sparkling water. This time I'm drinking a raspberry one. I was drinking a cherry one last time.
Cherry. That was going to be my next question. I thought it had been orange, but then now that I'm thinking about it, I'm realizing you mentioned bubbly, and I saw orange bubbly at Target the other day, and I was like, I should try that.
Speaking of bubbly,
You're getting married.
Yeah, Mazel tov to me.
I am actually going to a wedding in a month, but the season will be over by then. But we can figure that out later.
Yeah.
Anyway, what about bubbly?
I was just saying. I finished. It was Friday was my last day at a job that I've been at for quite some time.
And, congratulations!
Yeah, so I one of the things that I got was a bottle of Chandon as a going away present, and I drank all of it on Friday night. And I have not been hungover in a little while, and let me tell you, I was very hungover because champagne hangovers are fucking awful. But you know what? It was
Wait, is the idea? Does sugar help soak up alcohol, right?
Sugar
or carbs?
Not really. That's more fat.
Fat, sure. Okay.
Sugar and alcohol typically leads to worse hangovers.
That's what I was wondering. Champagne is really sugary, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, like, The worst hangover that I have had is mead hangovers.
Oh,
That is
God,
just
they're-
a fuckload of sugar in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like more sugary alcohols. So like, yeah, that or like sweeter wines or rum. Rum has very bad hangovers.
Yeah, I don't drink a lot of rum anymore.
Right. I remember how we used to drink a lot of rum, and now we don't drink it at
Yeah.
all ananymore. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because
Because we're not 23 anymore.
Yeah, maybe it's because we're not 20 years old anymore. Yeah, I managed to kick it. I went through my. It was the first time I've had to do it in a while, but I went through my whole routine of just like
The Gatorade
slept
and-
long enough, got two McDonald's breakfast sandwiches.
They're called
and-
McGriddles. Please use their proper name.
Well, okay, no, I got one McGriddle.
Oh.
And I got one sausage McMuffin with egg.
That's the way to do it, like the
Yes.
variety. Because I
Yeah.
love McGriddles
They're
so
both really
much.
good. It's nice to have, like, that was basically where I was at, was like, I don't want to settle. Like, I
Yeah.
want both of these, so I'm going to get them.
Yes.
But I got the meal, so I got the hash brown with it, which is also very important. And I got some coffee that I dumped out because I forgot we didn't have any milk in the house. And I'm not going to drink McDonald's coffee black.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
I mean, McDonald's coffee with anything at all is bad news bears. Like, don't.
It's not that bad.
I've never
It's-
had a good experience with McDonald's coffee.
But I had to get something, so I was like, I'll get some caffeine. But did that, took a big shit, which is a very important part of the hangover
Oh,
recovery
yes.
process.
Yes.
And it's always a very unpleasant one, but it does feel like you've gotten the toxins out of your body. And then
Yeah.
I took a shower, and then I just kind of laid around for a while and watched some Friday Night Lights, and no, I didn't watch Friday Night Lights. I watched I Think You Should Leave, which is fucking
Yes.
great if you haven't seen it.
Yes, I think I've watched the first 4 episodes. I think I have 2 more.
Yeah, it's. I was explaining Tim Robinson to someone, and I was like, he's like the exact midpoint between Will Forte and Andy Samberg in terms of both his look and sensibilities.
Yes. I can see
Like,
that.
one of my favorite things about that show is when they occasionally need to bring out someone more deranged than Tim. They brought out Will Forte for a
Yeah.
sketch, and they brought out Connor O'Malley for 2 different sketches. It's like, okay, we need someone crazier than him. There's only 2 people that are crazier.
Oh my god.
The only other person you could bring out for those sketches would have been like Eric Andre. But yeah, it's great. It's a really good sketch show, and it's really weird how all of these people that were underused on SNL
Are in fact very good.
are in fact very talented,
Yeah.
and it's almost like Lorne is a fucking hack, and he doesn't know who's talented of the people that he actually takes in.
Well, yeah, I mean, people are always saying the best season of SNL was the one where he wasn't there.
yeah, like
No,
because
people
Lorne-
don't say that at all.
Lorne's favorite guy. Yeah,
People say the exact opposite.
it felt true to me.
Yeah.
But like Lauren's favorite guys are always like the Seth Meyers or like Colin Jost type guys who are always the least talented people on their show.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, Seth Meyers, I think, is good at what he is doing
Seth,
now
Seth,
based on
Seth
seeing
is
like
not
2
as
clips
bad
from
as
his
Colin
show.
Jost, but he's
Who is?
I would say he's like a middling talent.
More like Colin most bad at SNL.
Yeah. But
Anyway.
that was like, I mean, you could see like the only point where like Andy Samberg was a really forgettable cast member until they just sort of let him do his own thing. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of cast members like that, like Tim, that they just never let do that, or they let them do their own thing and they bury it, and it's always cut sketches. Like who's the guy on there right now that's actually really funny?
I could not tell you. I have not watched an episode of SNL in like 3 years, probably. I think the last episode of
Kyle.
SNL was.
I can't remember what his last name.
Oh, Kyle
but-
Mooney.
Yeah, Kyle Mooney is
Yeah.
actually very funny, but they barely ever put any of his sketches on air.
And they're always the best ones. The ones he does with Beck Bennett are really funny.
Yes,
I don't
and
even
Beck
know
Bennett
if he's
is
still
also
on it.
funny. Beck they actually use a lot, but I feel like they use him as a straight man in a lot of those
Yeah.
things, which he's actually better as like a,
He's a big dude, and when he can play into that and be very goofy about it, I think that's what works well. I think he could be. Maybe they're trying to do it. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't watch the show.
Yeah.
But like, I could see him being like this generation's like Will Ferrell, like that kind of physical comedy. Hey, why are we talking about this?
I don't. My last thing that I'll say about that is there are 3 shows that are like some of the best shows going on TV right now. They're all ex-SNL people.
Barry
it's,
is one of them, I'm guessing?
Barry is one of them. The other two on Comedy Central, and I Think You Should Leave.
What was the second one?
The other two.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Who's
that's
that?
the one where it's the two siblings where their younger brother is basically like a Justin Bieber type, like
Oh, okay.
a celebrity, and they're both fuck ups, and it's just following them, kind of navigating around that. But
That sounds
it's
fun.
very good.
Yeah,
good show.
I have not seen anything from that show. I should check that out. Hey, speaking of television, this episode of Survivor was pretty good. The title of the episode was Awkward, which I phrased like that because I thought it would confuse you, and you'd be like, what was the episode title?
Speaking of other TV shows, there was a TV show called Awkward.
Yeah, it was good for like a season, I think.
Yeah, it was all right.
And then it got bad. At camp, the episode was spoiled from the very beginning when Ron said, "When everyone thinks you're working with them, they don't vote you out." Ronald, come on, you can't say
Ron-
things like that.
Ron was on borrowed time for this entire fucking game.
And it was beautiful to watch his demise because he thought he was so in control the whole
Yeah,
time.
he absolutely he's. The funny thing is, he's like Dan was last season, but he's not. He didn't even play as well as Dan did. Where he's like, I'm playing better than anyone in
Hot
this
Cop,
game.
yeah. I thought you meant Dan Foley from Joe's first season. I was like, how do you know who Dan is? But yeah,
Which was he on blue collar, white collar, or no collar?
I believe he was blue collar. He was a mailman.
Okay, that would be blue collar.
He, I think her name was Sharin, was talking about like growing up in an abusive household at tribal council one day, and Dan Foley was like, "Oh yeah, I can relate because I was adopted."
Oh, you told me about this, yeah.
And Jeff just looks at him like, "What the fuck, dude?"
It's the most Mr. Me Too bullshit imaginable.
Yeah. Okay. Ron then gives Rick the expired advantage menu to establish trust. This is... Talk about a payoff with this menu.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Like, I think everybody just assumed they forgot about that, but it's like, there's a reason they put it in the episode. So that's very good. I know we've complained about the editing this season, but that was some good editing. That was
Fantastic
good.
editing.
Then we get into the rewards challenge, which is the loved ones challenge. Here's a few notes. I don't think we need to talk about the loved ones too much because every other podcast is doing that. But
Yeah, we found out. Have they mentioned that Ron's gay?
they haven't. I don't think. And I had assumed he was based just on his whole thing, but then I remembered in like preseason notes, I thought they mentioned Ron's wife, but I'm thinking it must have been Rick that they were talking about.
Probably.
But yeah, I don't remember them ever mentioning that, but I wasn't surprised to learn that either. So that's fun. Oh, when this was very funny. When Ron's husband comes out, Jeff says, "Let's see who married you," which is fantastic.
Jeff was fucking throwing shade.
You know that video that I sent you that you never watched that you specifically requested I send you?
Yeah,
Of
and
Jeff
I never
Probst's
will
King of
watch it
Sass?
now.
I mean, that's going in the next one. Another point I think we should mention, Lauren's dad's name is Joey, so big fan of that guy. Gavin and his wife got married 2 days before leaving for Survivor. Then they do a challenge where they toss buckets of water at each other and raise a flag. It's a fun summer camp game. There should be more fun summer camp challenges, I think.
I agree.
Winners get fried chicken and apple pie. Ron wins and brings Julie and Gavin along on the reward. So Victoria targets Ronald. This whole episode just came together so well. Great episode, guys. You get War Dog out and the episodes are really fun.
It's funny how that happens.
Yeah. And the reward, Ron tells his husband that he is in charge of this game. Ronald, you can't say things like that.
Yeah, it's not a good omen.
Notice how Victoria says basically nothing, and she is in charge of the game. Just saying. Two sides of two different coins, you know?
I was talking to, the same night that I got really drunk, I was talking to my cousins who also watch Survivor. And
Shout out to them. Hi, guys.
the player that Victoria kind of reminds us of, she started the game a little smoother, but she kind of reminds me of Kara.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, like, 2/3 through the game, you look back and you're like, oh, she's gonna win.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we focused more on Victoria than we did Kara last year. But, yeah, they both played a very strong social game. It's whether or not Victoria can deliver at the end is the question, because remember, Lauren does have that idol still, and Victoria does not. Yes, she knows how to do the votes, but she doesn't know about that idol. And information is power. Mike White said that. Mike White, 2018. At the reward, Ron says in a talking head that giving Gavin this experience with his wife is, quote, a big gift. Hey, did you know that Ron sucks?
I'd thought about it.
Yeah. Back at camp, Aurora goes through Rick's bag and gets caught. Rick then goes hunting for an idol. He finds a clue that says the idol is above the shelter, so in the middle of the night he climbs a tree and grabs it, and then he says that he's on top of the moon. Which is, like, so close to a phrase, I'm surprised I didn't say it.
Yeah, that is very you.
I should go on Survivor.
Yeah,
Jeff,
totally.
hit me up. Yep. Do you think I wouldn't be good at Survivor? I'd be so good at Survivor. I know all the tricks. Never say you're confident. Don't say anything. And
Don't ever get an extra vote.
don't ever get an extra vote. And if you do, give it to the person who wins immunity. Speaking of immunity, they have to balance on small footholds between two walls. It's a classic challenge. They do it every year. That's probably not true. Rick and Ron are the first two out, and Rick asks Ron who he should vote for, and he tells him Aurora, and then Gavin wins the challenge. It's all falling into place for the climax of the episode. It's a good show.
Usher, climax.
2012, I want to say?
Yeah, I think so. Something, might have been 2013. Whatever.
Yeah. This is a very important detail that we need to get to the bottom of. Back at camp, no one is talking to Devins. He asks Ron if the menu is actually real, and he assures him it is. Ron and Julie tell Gavin that they're voting for Rick. And then Victoria says that she wants to be the one to decide who goes home, rather than go with the group, only to have all of their votes be canceled. So she aligns herself with Lauren.
Votes are canceled.
Voting is canceled. Every tribal council is fire making now.
We've got the receipts.
I'm really happy that our two people are finally working together.
It's good.
They target Ron. Aurora tells them about her extra vote, and they give it to Gavin in case there is a tie. It doesn't end up being useless. Lauren tells Gavin their plan, but Gavin is unsure if he actually wants to go along with it because Ron gave him one of the best days of his life. Gavin, I get it. I get what you're doing. I get what the show is doing, but, like, come on. That's... What's the word? Cloying?
Yeah, that could work for that.
Cool. Oh. It's time for wildlife shots.
Hit me with them.
You didn't respond to my DM about Token Teens, about the wildlife shots.
What was it?
So I've been watching Token Teens because I've never seen it, and there is a challenge late in the game where Coach is like, oh yeah, they might send me to exile or whatever, and he says, hit me with your best shot, Pat Benatar.
Oh yeah, I didn't think that you needed me to respond to that.
I
remember seeing it.
I thought it was fun. Anyway, this week's wildlife shot, there was only one. It was something that looks like the brown water python. They are generally 6 to 8 feet long, but can reach up to 10 feet long. And I heard your like lips smack or something, like you were gonna make a dick joke just now. Was that?
You heard wrong.
No? Okay.
Some are so big they call them long.
To get that reference, be in our journalism class in 2008.
Yeah, it's not an unreasonable request.
Okay, the brown water python have dark brown iridescent backs with a light yellow belly. Despite their name, they often live more inland. They are nocturnal and will hide out in logs and whatnot during the day. If they are startled, they will most often flee to the nearest water. So that's the brown water python. So big, some might call them long. Let's get into this tribal council. You know, for talking about SNL and dumb bullshit for 10 minutes at the beginning, we really got through this episode pretty quick, huh?
We're moving. We got it out of the way early.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that's the best way to go.
I agree. People don't tune into this show to listen to us recap Survivor. They listen to it to see what we're drinking every week, which, by the way, I am drinking a Steez Energy Blood Orange Clementine drink. It's very good. So...
It sounds pretty good to me.
It is. I have another one in my fridge if you want to come over.
Yeah, I'll just hop in the car and I'll see you in 4 hours.
We should probably finish editing this episode. Recording this episode is what we're doing. Anyway, at Tribal Council, Victoria says that if anyone were to have an idol, it would be Devon's. Ron says he hasn't heard his name, which was a wonderful thing to hear at Tribal Council from him. Victoria says she doesn't want to sit next to Devon's at final Tribal Council. Rick says someone's plan isn't going to work out, and they'll be saying, I wish I had an extra vote. What serendipity? Somebody did, and then he said that. You don't seem enthused about this.
Yeah, it was pretty good, I guess.
Okay. They vote. Rick tries to play the advantage menu, and Jeff tells him that it is expired, so Devon goes on a monologue about how Ron is a villain, and then plays the real idol he found. And Devon's gets the first 4 votes, and then Aurora gets a vote, and then Ron gets 3 votes, and Ron takes the torch to go to Extinction. Yeah, so Ron's out. Rick Devens, even though he played an idol, still voted for the wrong person.
That's Rick Devens in a nutshell, right? That's his whole game.
Yeah, basically.
Like, even when he does something right, he can't.
Still can't
fully.
quite. Yeah, I do not think that if he wins, the like hardcore audience will respect him. Unfortunately,
you're not going to have to worry about that because he's not going to win.
I don't know. They're pushing him real hard. Maybe for heartbreak.
There's no way he wins.
Why would he not win?
Because he's not a good player.
Yeah, but he has a good relationship with everyone on Extinction, for the most part.
I think he's not long for this world. He has what alliance does he have right now?
I mean, in the game, he could work. I don't think he could work with anybody at this point. But all he has to do is win 2 immunity challenges and the fire making, and he's in final 3, or he gets voted out and he wins the Extinction challenge, and then he has to win fire making and maybe an immunity, and he's in final Tribal Council. I think it's definitely... I would not be surprised to see Rick Devens at final Tribal. That's what I think.
I don't know, man. I don't see it.
I really hope you're right, because I do not want to see that happen. It's gonna be very disappointing. It's gonna be like Triple H all over again. Yeah. I think my opinion on this season as a whole is very dependent on who the winner is. And at this point, it could be anyone.
Sure.
Because of how this
that's
season
understandable.
works. Okay. Here's why I think Lauren is winning. There have been a lot of scenes where she says things that don't really impact the episode, but they still highlight them and like subtitle them when necessary. And I think it's foreshadowing of some sort.
Okay.
Victoria is still in first place. She voted incorrectly this time, so she's at 90% technically, but she did orchestrate that vote, so she's sitting all right up in first place. Gavin's in second with 89% of the correct vote. Lauren is in third with 67%. Tied for fourth are Julie and Aurora, both at 57%. And in last place, voting correctly at 5 of his 11 tribal councils, is Rick Devins. He is still there.
Can't seem to get rid of him.
Do you think he is voting wrong intentionally?
No.
I think he's just a bad player.
I think he just does not have a good handle on that part of the game.
Yeah. Well, he's got all these idols now, so good for him. Okay. Do you want to hear what my mom has to say? What my mom has texted me?
I would love to hear what she has to say.
Let's see. Okay. Okay. So glad to see Ron go. There's 1, 2, 3.
But love to watch him
4,
leave.
5, 6, 7, 8 messages. So glad to see Ron go. Was cool to see who each person's loved ones. That's the whole sentence.
Yeah, sure. I agree.
She asks, if you go on Survivor someday, will I be your loved one, or will it be Thomas? Thomas, do you want to be my loved one?
You know it would be me.
And then we should get t-shirts made.
I'd be really mad at you if it wasn't me. I'm telling you that right now. If you didn't pick me, I would be extremely mad.
Okay. We could do a Johnny Fairplay thing. Be like, how's the podcast going? Be like, it was canceled. Half of us left. And then I'll get so much sympathy from all the super fans who aren't gonna win because I'm gonna win. I think.
Yeah, I don't think I have to worry about this because I don't think you're making it to the merge if you ever.
You don't. You cut out there for a second. Did you say you don't think I'd make it to the merge?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Why do you think I wouldn't make it to the merge? Nobody wants to date you if you don't make it to the merge. That's a rule of Survivor.
It's a bona fide fact right there.
Yeah, it is. Next text from my mom. I think there is strong possibility of the final 3 being all women. I believe she means seriously strong there. Very V, pretty P. I think seriously it's S in this context.
There's a Cecily strong possibility.
There's a Cecily strong possibility. Next text from my mom. She does not use voice to text, but she does say, and that would make me so happy. Oh, that was in reference to an all women final 3. When will the extinct people get a chance to get back in the game? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
It's a good question.
I believe.
I really do wonder when they're going to do this because, it shouldn't be as late as it's probably going to be.
I think it'll be. They vote somebody out at Final 6 at the beginning of the finale, and then that group of extinct people will have a challenge, putting them back at 6, and then I guess 2 more tribal councils, and then fire making, and then final tribal. Does that sound right? I don't know. We'll see. Those are my thoughts on Survivor. That's what she says. And then she says, this is where we are right now eating barbecue in Missouri. And she sent a picture of something called the Missouri Mule Society. So that's very good. And then she sends me another text, a picture of my dad. And he has food in his mouth and says, Dad is so handsome. So that's all the text from my mom.
I like that's a perfect way to end that.
Yeah. It does. The food does look really good. Anyway, my parents.
I bet it does.
Beto, it does. President, maybe.
Hey,
we'll see.
Hopefully not.
It's amazing how quickly I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know who should win now. It didn't take 2 years. It took about 2 weeks, and
yeah. Well, and guess what? We got another year and a half.
Yeah. It's going to be Pete Davidson.
It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May. That's funny. Okay, Thomas, you got a point for
Have you ever thought of that before?
this song.
But you know how like it sounds like he says it's gonna be May.
Yeah.
You ever thought? You ever thought about that?
I've never even considered that. It does sound like he's gonna be May.
I just want to put that out there. I don't think anyone's ever thought about that before.
I mean, we should really be talking about it, especially in this month, May, because that's what he says in the song.
you do hear it.
You do.
Many,
And you
they
keep
don't want
hearing
you to
it.
say it, but we are. They don't want you to say it. Should I say it?
The late 90s are coming back, and that's why you're hearing it more and more. It's gonna be May. This is the best podcast in the entire world. I mean, who else is combining Donald Trump jokes and NSYNC jokes? Probably like a
Yeah,
bot
no
on
one's
Twitter.
doing it.
Nobody's doing it. You're hearing it less and less.
Yeah. They want you to say it, and we're not. And we're not.
And we're not
going
to say it. We're not going to say it anymore. We used to say it. We used to say it a lot, but we're not going to say it anymore.
And we're not saying it anymore.
It's like, oh my god. So, president's still a thing for now. We'll see in a couple of years if it is.
Donald Trump is canceled.
Oh my god, Thomas. Sorry, this episode's meandering at best. Remember the game The Ship that we used to play all the time at?
I do remember the game The Ship. Yes, I do.
It is on, there are a few versions on Steam, and I am looking to download it. But in the, like, remastered version, they did, like, a special edition after the remaster came out a couple years ago. And you can play as Hillary Clinton and or Donald Trump. So
Wow, that's incredibly stupid.
yeah, I saw that and I was like, I don't think I want to download this version. So I found the single player version, which was the same
maybe
price.
not. Yep.
Good game. The Ship is great. It's a game from
Ship is a very fun game.
mid-2000s. Steam said it had like mixed reviews, and I was like, I don't know who doesn't like this game.
Didn't have mixed reviews from the group of people at Eden playing
Yeah.
it.
Do you know how many fucking...
The Electronic Den.
I think I ate more Pockies when we went to Eden in like that 2 or 3 year span than I have eaten in total before or since.
This is a callback to another thing that we've referenced on the show before, but you know
Joey?
what they had at Eden?
What?
Balls Guarana.
Dark times when we were drinking
And that's a
balls
fact,
Guarana
Jack.
on the bottle check. Thomas, do you want to hear about the points you won this week?
I would love to hear about the points that I won.
I believe that you inched closer to my point total, which is technically still more. It's the same. You got a point for Victoria surviving, a point for Julie going on the reward, and you got a point for Ron being voted out, and you got a point for him going to Extinction. Excuse me. I got that same point. Gavin also went on the reward, so I got a point for that. And Lauren survived, so a point for that. You are at 43. I am at 46. Pretty good. Pretty close game here leading into the finale.
Yeah, it's been a nice sporting contest.
So let's predict what's happening next week. This is the last episode before the finale, remember?
Wow, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah. Honestly, good. I'm so tired of this season.
I think this is a good season. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. It's just dragging on. And, like, we don't... Like, I want to know more about Victoria and Lauren and... other people who are still in the game whose names I can
Yeah,
definitely
that I
remember.
understand.
It's like they're... I was really expecting in the pre-merge for Victoria to, like, flourish post-merge and be this huge character, and this is the most we've seen from her all season.
That's not the type of game that she's playing, though.
Yeah, but, like, Rick Devens is taking up so much space on every episode, and I'm tired of it.
Sure.
Anyway, who's going on the reward?
I am going to say that Victoria goes on this reward.
Ooh, that would be good. I am going to say Lauren goes on the reward, and it's not just because you picked your person that I picked my person. I think it's for real that Lauren's going to go on this reward, And I'm not doing
okay.
this just for a fun bit.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
What will the reward be? They still haven't gotten tools to build a shelter, and it's getting real close to day 39,
I mean,
so you gotta
any
consider
day now,
that.
though. I mean, that just means that it has to happen now.
It has to. Like, what else are they gonna do it?
Yeah, I can't imagine. Man, what the fuck? Yeah, like, really, what is left to give them? They still haven't gotten pizza yet, have they?
Well, that was that temptation at that immunity, the mountain of pizza.
Oh, you're right. The pizza was the temptation, so they have done pizza. I'm just gonna say fucking hamburgers then, because they still haven't done them.
That's wild that they haven't done hamburgers.
Wild
Hamburgers. Hey,
fucking
do you want to open a burger joint called Wild Hamburgers? And we could have really crazy stuff on the burgers, like
Wild
eggplants
hamburgers
and spicy sauce.
Meow.
Would you eat a burger with eggplants and spicy sauce on it?
I don't really like eggplant very much, so I mean,
Oh, really? I love eggplant. I think it's so tasty.
I would maybe just take the eggplant off of it and then eat it.
Oh, it's in the meat though.
Oh,
It's in
wow,
the patty.
okay.
And so is the spicy
It's
sauce.
a weird way to make a burger, but I guess if they want to do it that way.
Yeah, here's how we do it at Wild Hamburgers, the name of my new restaurant that I'm opening. Come see us. So there's the patty, and all of the toppings are mixed into the patty, and then it just goes on the bun, and you don't add any more toppings. So it's just bun, patty, bun.
Ah, okay.
But then there's all the fixins inside, the Jeff Probst burger.
As Jeff would say.
We have a burger called the all the fixins burger, or sorry, the Jeff Probst burger, and the description is just all the fixins, which is basically like a fruitcake of a burger. It's just like we grab whatever we can find in the kitchen and.
Wow, that sounds incredibly unappealing.
Yeah, welcome to Wild Hamburgers.
I think a fruitcake is maybe the least appealing thing you could compare any other food to. You literally could have compared it.
Not that it tastes like a fruitcake. The preparation is the same.
Yeah,
you just slide
no, it's
the
it's
scraps
still not an
into
appetizing comparison. You could.
I'd eat it.
You
I'd
could
try
have.
it.
You could have compared it to suicides, which are also not particularly appetizing. You know, where you put all the sodas into
Yeah.
one cup.
Yeah.
And that would have still been more appetizing.
We do have a burger at Wild Hamburgers called the Suicide. It's just a standard burger, but there is a cyanide tablet in it.
Oh, okay. For in case you need to make a quick escape.
Yeah, it's not very popular.
No, I can't imagine why.
Probably because the description is literally just murder.
Kill yourself.
It's called the Suicide. Wild Hamburgers, come to Chicago. We're gonna open it up next year. This time next year. That's a guarantee. Who's winning immunity? Oh wait, did we pick rewards yet? You said hamburgers. That's why we talked about Wild Hamburgers. A bad restaurant idea. I'm going to say. Did we determine that cocktails is too vague?
No.
No? Okay. I'm gonna say
I don't think it's any
cocktails.
more vague than saying beer
Sure.
or like wine.
A Heineken.
There's different kinds of beer and wine. I don't think it's
Okay, yeah,
ridiculous.
I'm gonna say cocktails then. Because I don't
That's
think
not a bad
either
choice.
of us have predicted that yet, and it hasn't come up yet, I don't remember. Maybe it has. Whatever. Who's winning immunity? I have my guess.
Man,
go first.
who is winning immunity? That's
Who's
the real
left
question.
in the game? Let's see. Gavin, Rick,
What are frogs?
Lauren, Aurora, Julie? Is that everybody? Victoria. That's 6 people left?
Man, Julie really might make it to the final 3.
I think Julie's making it to final 3.
I mean, if somebody's smart, they'll take her there because she's got no chance.
Yeah, Mr. McMahon. I'm gonna start calling Julie Mr. McMahon for the rest of the season. There's only
I'm torn between. Okay, we're talking about winning immunity right now.
winning immunity. Yes.
I'm gonna say Gavin is gonna win immunity.
I would not be surprised. He is one of the only 3 people left who have. I am going all in on Lauren this week. I'm picking Lauren
Okay.
to win immunity. Who's getting voted out?
Has
though?
she? I don't think she's won an immunity.
She hasn't
challenge
won,
yet.
but she's come very close every single time. Even when she fainted, she was still in the top 3. So I'm thinking Lauren. Who's getting voted out?
See, for this, I'm torn between Devons and Aurora.
Yeah. I don't want to see Aurora go, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm going to say Devons.
I'll say Aurora then. I don't want that to be the case. That's one of those points I'm happy to give you. Okay, so that's all the points. They're not returning yet. I feel like they would tell us in the preview for next week if they were. Here's what happened on the challenge. They've been teasing all season that, given the opportunity, Polly would volunteer to take out Kyle. Now Kyle is not immune to going into elimination. Sorry, I just forgot every word. And then Polly doesn't volunteer. That's the point. Even though he promised he would all season. Instead, Theo goes down and faces Kyle and wins in Hull Roll. It was very exciting. Kara and Turbo won the next challenge, which means they get to skip the last challenge and go straight to the final. So that's pretty exciting that Turbo's in it. He's from Survivor.
Yeah, that is exciting.
Would you ever want to watch a Turbo season of Survivor? It's all in Turkish, and I couldn't find any with English subtitles.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say, I think that might be a problem.
I definitely looked into it when he was announced to be on this cast, but I could not find anything, unfortunately. But speaking of watching other seasons, season 39 has been announced as leaked, I guess, the theme. It is called Island of Idols. What do you think that would mean? Knowing what you know about this show.
I guess this is season 39 of Survivor we're talking about, not the challenge.
Of Survivor, yeah.
I mean, I guess probably there's going to be a lot of idols, and also they're all winners. I know that's what they're doing.
No,
for
that's
this season.
40. Season 40 is all winners, supposedly.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be like famous people.
You're not far off. So supposedly, and again, this is all rumored, there's going to be like a Exile type twist, like Exile Island, and there will apparently be a lot of hidden immunity idols, or that's where you get them or something. And also, you can get advice from some Survivor idols, such as Boston Rob and Sandra. I say such as, but those are the two. So they're going to be on the show as advisors, not contestants.
Okay.
So the idols has double meaning. So that's something.
A real layered season there. I don't think it sounds very good.
It does not sound good at all. But
personally, not my favorite thing that I've heard.
yeah, I think it is buying time for season 40 and is an attempt to remind people of two of the best winners of all time in preparation for season 40. I think that is what they are doing.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll be like, what was the season before Game Changers?
Immediately before?
Yeah.
Triple H?
No, I think Triple H was after.
Ghost Island? No, Ghost Island was a year ago this time. And was Game Changers the one right before that?
Was it Millennials versus Gen X?
Yes, Millennials versus Gen X, because Zeke and McKenna came
Maybe
back
this ends up
immediately.
being a Millennials versus Gen X Game Changers thing, where the show with the worst theme ends up having a more interesting game.
I hope that is the case. But then again, we also have Triple H, where it's a bad theme and also a bad season. So
yeah, I mean that's always a possibility too.
anyway, so
This theme's not as bad as Triple H. I don't think any theme will ever be as bad as Triple H.
no, I thought what was it? Worlds Apart was a horrible theme, and that seems like a genius idea compared to Triple H.
And that was the blue collar, white collar, no collar one, correct?
Yeah, it's like that. Like
that one's at least a fun disaster of a theme.
yeah, I think done differently or promoted in a different way. I think they could do something with that theme, and I don't think there was anything that, like, other people's opinions of you is how you separate the tribes, and also they all happen to start with H, but then you never call the season Triple H on the show, so why did you pick H? It doesn't make sense to me. I still don't understand it. Anyway, if Devins wins, this is Triple H again. If Lauren or Victoria wins, it's Ko-Rong.
It's a lot better than Triple H already.
Yes,
even
it
if
is.
Devins wins.
It is. I'm not giving it enough credit. But if Devins wins the way Ben won, I'm going to be really upset. Anyway, Heroes versus Villains 2. There's still time to make Season 40 that, technically. But it does start filming in like a couple weeks, so...
I mean, they could pull it together at the last minute.
I was thinking, like, yeah, all winners, but if you fudge your story enough, you could make a Heroes and Villains tribe of all winners.
Yeah, hero winners versus villains winners.
Yeah. Like, Sandra, for example, was on the Villains tribe when she came in, because she was supposedly a villain on Pearl Islands. But I do remember her being, like, raising her hand when Jeff asked, does anyone feel like they're on the wrong tribe? And she rose her hand. But now...
I don't think she's a villain. I think people root for Sandra.
Well, yeah, they do now, which is why on the all-winner season, if they did Heroes versus Villains 2, she would be on the Heroes tribe, I think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Speaking of...
Also, I think we've talked about this, but I'm definitely rooting for her to win the all-winners season.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Gotta protect the record.
The queen stays the queen.
It's unfair. It is unfair that this is the way that they're gonna have someone potentially break it, because someone has to win twice.
Yes.
Unless Sandra wins.
Exactly. I feel the exact same way, and I think most people will when that season is officially underway. I was going to say something else about that, but I've forgotten. Oh, Sandra. That's why. We talked about this last week, and I think we are going to do Pearl Islands in the off-season. You on board with that?
Yes.
I'm really excited. We'll be watching that come this summer. I know there's we'll figure out the dates later, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, you can follow us on Twitter at DYWSLN. You can follow me at Jake Scheidel, or if you'd rather, you could follow my wrestling universe at Jake Schwager. Just did a TLC, spoke TLC, pretty fucking good show.
I'm sure it was. You can follow me at on Twitter at real.
Nope. Not real. Not real.
At Dirty Jobs.
That's not
official.
Real. That's not a real Twitter. Please stop. Thomas's Twitter is Tom Not Tom. I've turned off his microphone, so he can't say anything anymore. He didn't know I had that capability, but I can.
It's crazy that you're able to do that remotely.
Yeah, he's actually yelling through the phone right now. That's why
in different cities.
My mic is picking it up.
Yeah, you can follow me at Tom.Tom.
Yeah, there we go.
You can also follow my universe
account. Shut the fuck up.
At is the name of it.
That's why
it's where I fantasy book if the show is hosted by
John Cena hosted. Oh my god. They probably would, honestly. I've lost count of the tallies.
Alright, anyway, you can follow me at Tom.Tom. Deuces.
Making a distinction between life and law. Odds favor the former when you wear a mask. Masochism forming in the reflection, and I'm trying not to turn into a psychopath. Better to have lost it than to find it tossed out. That's what I'm telling myself. Wasn't I better than nothing? Making a decision about steamed or fried. Wanted to be needed, so I fed my cat. Think I'll keep to myself for the next few days. Feel a buzz that can't be bottled, smoked or canned. Sabotaging life just to find something to write about. Why was it always this way? Did I do it on purpose? Schizoid built, listening to puddles swallow melted snow. Spring has sprung and finally it's not cold outside, and I'm thinking about the places that I wanna go. Passion dissipates when it's passing through the faces we wear, only to become them. Lying to ourselves every day becomes incredibly easy.
Thought you were safe. You thought wrong.
That was awful. Well, that was miserable.
Glad to hear it.